Hello and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the things that I really dislike about the new update for Trials, and that is the new store. I don't like it because of a few reasons. I'll start with the most obvious, the Murkoff coins. I think premium currencies are a pretty scummy thing to add. Even if the implementation of it is not necessarily the most scummy, it's still not a great thing, and while it's great for red barrels, obviously, it's not good for the player base. And I know red barrels needs to make money, obviously, but that's why they had the DLCs here, you know. I don't know how many people bought them. I personally bought some of these. But I know not everybody bought them. So maybe that's why they introduced Murkoff coins as a way to try to, you know, get some more money out. I don't know. But regardless, like, I don't think this is a great thing, you know, for red barrels to be doing. And I don't know why there aren't more people going against things like premium currencies in this game, because they're not good for us. First of all, like, one of these skins cost like 500 Murkoff coins, which is like $5. And even if you buy the more expensive ones, like, you're still only getting, like, you know, I'll show you able to buy more, but it's still like, one of these DLCs give you 2 skins plus additional cosmetics for almost the same price. I think the conversion is like between like $5 and $6 from €5, so it's not that much more. Meaning the DLCs have infinitely more value, or not infinitely more value, but significantly more value than these Murkoff coins will ever have. So yeah. And for anyone interested, like, this is like dark patterns. There's a lot of resources on like dark patterns in games, which are basically just features or mechanics in a game designed to keep you playing for as long as possible, spending as much money as possible. And premium currencies is one of them. Daily loot boxes or daily rewards is another one. So yeah, you know, I don't like red barrels that much because of that. Like, for me personally, it's not the worst thing, but somebody did tell me that it was like okay because, or they seemed to like justify it to some degree because of the fact that it wasn't like a particularly bad implementation of it, but it still is not a good thing. So I think regardless of how you try to justify this, I don't think it's gonna be a good thing. In any case, I actively dislike this game just a little more than I did before because of the Murkoff coins. Now, I think the reason why they probably implemented it is probably because their DLCs were not selling so well, I would imagine. I don't know why, but yeah, you know, especially since I bought some of these on console. I haven't bought the exotic pack or sweet release pack, but I did buy but I do have the Regent starter pack, and I do have the cheaper DLCs on console, and I also have the Unholy Night pack on console now. So yeah. You know. But yeah, I mainly just wanted to talk about this because I really want red barrels to like do something about this. I don't think they will, but I want them to at least like change a few things. So as an example, when you buy it, for spending more money, you don't get like additional, like in some here you get an additional 100 for spending more money. It's basically just a way to get you to spend more money on the game. It itself is a form of dark pattern, you know, to get you to spend more. Like, premium currencies themselves are a dark pattern, from my understanding, but that alone, just giving you more the more you spend, additional stuff, if you spend more money, is another dark pattern. And the interesting thing is that you're probably never going to spend those 100 on anything. Unless you buy more. So it incentivizes you to actually buy more in the future. So yeah, like, why are we supporting Red Barrels with these, like, not so great things, you know? And it also has me worried for the future of Trials as well, you know? Like, are we going to see more of this stuff in the future? Are we going to see battle passes and stuff? I'm not sure. I hope not, but if they're willing to do Murkoff coins and people don't seem to be particularly against it, then what else are they willing to do? Maybe we won't see it until like a year from now, but, you know, I don't think it would be good. And then I hope at least people like get themselves together and, you know, do something about this. Because if you start justifying like battle passes and so on, like I saw people who like, well, justify things like that for Fortnite. And I'm like, Fortnite is one of the most like predatory games when it comes to monetization. And you're justifying all of their awful behaviors. Because it's free to play. I'll be honest with you, just because the game is free to play does not mean that it's alright to do these things, you know. And it's even worse since this is a paid game, right, you know. I get that they need more money to continue the development, but this is still a paid game, you know. Like, I paid for it, and my expectation of paying for a game is that it won't be filled with microtransactions. But that's the direction that Red Barrel seems to be taking the game in right now. Or at least might take the game in the future, you know. So I'm not a big fan of it, you know. So Red Barrels, if you can, just get around to fixing this, you know. Either like change some things to make the Murkoff coins like less awful. So maybe I can at least, you know, not say that they're not good. So at least then, like, yeah, no, it looks better than it, a little bit better. But still, you know, I don't think I'll ever be for things like this. So yeah. But anyways, the other thing was easy anti-cheat. Because I believe it's Kernel-level if I remember correctly, and I'm not a big fan of Kernel-level anti-cheats. So yeah. I mean, look at things like CrowdStrike as an example of this. But of why like kernel-level software, if it doesn't have to be kernel-level, which anti-cheats don't, I think Valve's. I'm not sure if Valve's does kernel-level or not, but I don't think they need to be kernel-level. So yeah. So Wet Barrels, please fix this. You know, you couldn't always just go with an anti-cheat. I don't know if there are any that don't necessarily like us like use kernel-level plus like kernel-level anti-cheat. Like they're basically spyware, right? Like I'm not sure if I would trust like kernel-level anti-cheat not to spy on everyone. So yeah. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing. But well, we'll see where this game goes in the future. I get the need for an anti-cheat. I just don't think that Kernel-level one is a particularly good one in terms of like security and so on. I don't expect them to have us like strict coding policies as companies like Microsoft might have with Windows, meaning a lot more vulnerabilities and so on could be found in their code, which could potentially be exploited. So yeah, anyways, I guess that's all I really have to say. I really hope that yeah, I don't think Red Barrels is going to remove the anti-cheat, but at least make it like an optional thing. so you can only play solo without needing to have it enabled by default. That would be cool. I would be fine with that because like I primarily play solo, so there isn't really a need for why I should have it enabled. But regardless, like it would be cool if, you know, they could do that, but I'm not sure if they're able to do something like that. And then again, like daily rewards is another dark pattern. So yeah, you know, the daily rewards are not necessarily awful, but you know, I don't know, it just feels kind of like not great that it's located in the store where you get to see all of the other stuff. Like, you know, the game gives you something for free. You kind of feel like maybe you should give back to the developers or something, which you should, but still, like, you know, it might just be another way to get you to spend more money by showcasing like a ton of the content that you can get, you know. But yeah, wet barrels, yeah, you know, I guess I shouldn't be complaining too much, but still, like, I'm still gonna complain about this. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.